For centuries, humanity had been quiet in the vast expanse of space. While other civilizations rose and fell across the galaxy, Earth had largely remained isolated, its most powerful creations locked away in forgotten corners of history. Among these relics was an ancient human dreadnought, a colossal warship from a time when humanity ruled the stars. Its technology, once the pinnacle of human achievement, had been abandoned as Earth entered an era of peace, leaving the dreadnought to drift forgotten in deep space, buried in the debris of a long-vanished conflict. But time, as it often does, brought change. What had once been a symbol of humanity's power had become a myth. The dreadnought was remembered only in ancient records, its exact location lost to the sands of time. No one truly believed it still existed. That was, until an exploratory vessel from the Alliance stumbled upon it, hidden in the shadow of a gas giant on the edge of the system. When the crew of the ship first detected the dormant craft, they thought it was just another piece of space junk, until they realized it was far more than that. The dreadnought was alive. The crew's discovery sent shockwaves through the galaxy. News spread like wildfire, and soon, the most powerful alien empires took notice. The dreadnought was a relic of an ancient civilization, a weapon of immense destructive power. The idea that humanity, long thought to be insignificant in the grand scheme of galactic affairs, could have created something like this was both terrifying and exhilarating. The alien races, many of whom had been expanding their influence across the stars for millennia, were thrown into a panic. At first, the aliens dismissed the dreadnought as nothing more than a relic, a weapon that had lost its relevance. But as the ship began to power up, its ancient systems coming back to life after centuries of dormancy, the scale of its power became apparent. The dreadnought's massive energy shields flickered back into existence, its weapons systems slowly humming to life with an eerie, calculated precision. The enormous ship, once abandoned, now looked like a sleeping titan reawakening, and the galaxy's most powerful alien fleets suddenly felt the cold grip of fear. The alien forces, who had always seen humanity as little more than a nuisance, began to panic. What had they awakened? The dreadnought, despite its age, had been built for war on a scale unimaginable to the modern alien races. Its weaponry was primitive compared to the sleek, highly advanced alien ships, but the sheer size and power of the dreadnought's arsenal were overwhelming. The ship's massive, glowing cannons crackled to life, sending shockwaves through space with every activation. Its battle systems, dormant for so long, sprang to life with terrifying efficiency, as if it had never left the battlefield. As the first alien ships moved to investigate, they were met with an unexpected force. The dreadnought fired a warning shot, an enormous blast that shattered the silence of deep space. The alien fleets, expecting an easy victory over what they presumed was a forgotten warship, found themselves scrambling to adjust. The once feared conquerors of the galaxy, who had decimated civilizations without mercy, now found themselves on the defensive. The dreadnought's energy shields held strong against their weapons, and its weapons retaliated with devastating force. The aliens realized too late that they had underestimated humanity. As the dreadnought glided into the heart of the galaxy, its presence was felt by every alien empire. The ship's mere existence represented a challenge to the established order, a reminder that humanity was no longer the small, insignificant species they had once believed it to be. The ship, despite being an ancient relic, was proof that humanity's potential had always been far greater than any alien had anticipated. With every move, the dreadnought showed the aliens just how little they understood about humanity. The crew aboard the ship, though small in number and less advanced than the alien forces, were driven by a deep sense of pride and a hunger for survival. They were the last heirs to a once great civilization, and they knew that the future of humanity depended on them. They would not let this ancient weapon slip back into oblivion. They would use it to send a message to the galaxy. Humanity was back, and it was no longer afraid to fight. The aliens, now forced to react, called upon their strongest fleets, sending wave after wave to deal with the menace of the dreadnought. Yet every attempt was met with brutal resistance. The dreadnought's advanced targeting systems outclassed the alien ships, despite being centuries old, and its cannons tore through alien hulls with ease. The more the aliens attacked, the more they realized that the dreadnought had not just been built for war, it had been designed to endure. Its resilience was legendary, its power unmatched. Humanity's ancient ancestors had built it not just to conquer, but to survive. As the dreadnought continued its journey across the galaxy, the alien fleets began to fall back. They could not face the relentless power of a ship that had been dormant for centuries, and they feared what other secrets it might hold. In the face of this ancient, unstoppable force, the once proud alien empires began to panic. It became clear that this was no longer just about a ship. It was about the resurgence of a civilization thought lost to the ages. Humanity, which had once been relegated to the far reaches of the galaxy, had shown that it could adapt, survive, and fight back when cornered. The galaxy would never view humanity the same way again. And as the Dreadnought continued to drift through space, its systems now fully awakened, one thing was certain: the aliens were not the only ones in panic. The galaxy had underestimated humanity for far too long. And now, the human race was proving that even the most ancient and forgotten of weapons could rise to defend their legacy. The Dreadnought's emergence had ignited a new chapter in the galaxy's history, one where humanity no longer stood in the shadows, but was prepared to take its place as a force to be reckoned with. The galaxy had been forever changed by the emergence of the ancient human Dreadnought. For millennia, the alien empires had ruled the stars with little competition, brushing aside lesser civilizations with ruthless efficiency. Yet, the Dreadnought, with its immense power and ancient technology, was a stark reminder that the universe was not always as predictable as they had believed. It had been humanity's greatest weapon, lost to time, only to resurface when they least expected it. The aliens, who had once considered humanity insignificant, now found themselves facing an enemy unlike any they had encountered before. As the days turned to weeks, the alien forces reevaluated their strategies. The Dreadnought was not just an old ship. It was a symbol of human ingenuity, designed with the foresight of a civilization that had once dominated the stars. Its weaponry had not been crafted with the modern galaxy in mind, yet it was devastatingly effective. The alien ships, faster and more advanced in many respects, could not match the sheer firepower of the Dreadnought. Their weapons bounced off its shields, their evasive maneuvers were ineffective against its targeting systems, and their attempts to overwhelm it were met with ruthless retaliation. In the face of mounting losses, the alien fleets began to splinter. The once unified front was now in disarray. Several of the weaker alien factions, seeing the tide turning, began to negotiate with humanity. They offered alliances, trading technologies in exchange for a ceasefire. But Earth's leaders, fully aware of the Dreadnought's significance, had no intention of being pawns in someone else's game. They were now the ones in control. They demanded respect, and they demanded a seat at the table in any new galactic order. Humanity had nothing to lose and everything to gain. The battle continued to rage for months, with the Dreadnought becoming a legend in its own right. It was a living testament to the resilience of the human spirit, a reminder that even in the face of unimaginable odds, humanity could adapt, evolve, and overcome. The crew aboard the Dreadnought had become the embodiment of this unyielding spirit. They fought not just for survival, but for the future of their people, their planet, and their place in the galaxy. Captain Emily Torres, the leader of the crew aboard the Dreadnought, had never imagined she would be at the helm of such a powerful force. She was a descendant of Earth's humble origins, a human who had grown up in the aftermath of the alien invasion, when humanity was still struggling to find its footing in the vastness of space. Now, she stood at the center of a war that could decide the fate of the galaxy. She had seen the Dreadnought's firepower firsthand, and she knew the ship's potential was not just in its weapons, but in the message it sent. "We're not just a forgotten race," she said to her crew one evening, watching the stars stretch out before them. "We are humanity, and we will no longer be pushed aside." Her words resonated with the crew, each of them understanding the weight of what they were fighting for. They were not simply defending Earth, they were defending the very essence of humanity. The Dreadnought was a symbol of their strength, their ingenuity, and their unwavering will to survive. It was a reminder that no matter how small or insignificant a species might seem, if they had the will to fight, they could change the course of history. As the final battle loomed on the horizon, the Dreadnought prepared for its most important confrontation yet. The largest alien fleet ever assembled was now approaching, a massive armada that sought to put an end to the human resurgence. But this time, the aliens did not underestimate humanity. They had seen what the Dreadnought could do, and they knew that any attempt to destroy it would come at a terrible cost. In the climactic battle, the Dreadnought fought like a living thing, its weapons unleashing devastating energy pulses, ripping through the alien ships with ease. The enemy fleet, despite its superior numbers, was no match for the sheer force of the Dreadnought's firepower. The battle stretched for hours, but in the end it was clear. Humanity had once again proven that it could rise to any challenge. The alien fleets retreated, their forces scattered, their pride shattered. The Dreadnought had done what no one had expected. It had turned the tide, forced the galaxy's most powerful empires to respect humanity, and shown that Earth was not to be trifled with. The Dreadnought's victory was not just in its weapons, but in the message it carried. Humanity was no longer a forgotten relic of the past. They were a force to be reckoned with. With the alien threat neutralized, Earth entered a new era. The Dreadnought, now a symbol of human power and resilience, was placed in a new space station orbiting Earth, serving as both a museum and a beacon of hope for future generations. Captain Torres and her crew were hailed as heroes, but they knew that their victory was only the beginning. Humanity's place in the galaxy had been secured, but new challenges were sure to come. As the Dreadnought floated silently in the depths of space, its lights glowing softly, it was a reminder to the galaxy that humanity, despite its relatively short history in the cosmos, had the power to change the universe. And as the stars stretched out before them, humanity stood ready to face whatever came next, with the Dreadnought as their ultimate weapon and symbol of their unbreakable will. The galaxy had seen humanity rise from the shadows, and now, it would never forget their name.